This week on Off the Cuff, we tried to get through this as quickly as possible so we could get back to playing video games.
Hello, customers. I'd like to welcome you to Impact Training System featuring the highly acclaimed muscle memory programming technology. Hours of perfect physical practice. This results in an immediate improvement in your game.
1 million.
Perfect world. The magic. By so doing, in a short period of time, is guaranteed to quickly and easily help you once and for all Cybervision.
Thank you so much.
That's why you need a professional.
Yeah, I wonder what's gonna be in the spoofs at the end.
Yeah, this whole part.
Mike trying to pull the cock out of his mouth.
And now you know who I am. I am your host, Michael Powers. I'm joined this week by Art Danner.
Hi.
And by Sean Z.
Hello.
Joe is absent as he has work-related things to do.
Stupid
He's
parent
still
teacher
grabbing the ports
conferences.
just like last time.
And our guest host would have been Jason, but he is stuck at work as well. So that leaves the three of us and Wikipedia.
It's like Joe will be here anyways.
So
You could just rename Wikipedia Wiki Joe.
My God.
I don't know about that. Wikipedia covers more things.
Does Wikipedia have its own Wikipedia page? Because we change it to Joepedia?
We could.
Yeah. So, who wants to go first? What have they been playing for the last 2 weeks?
Oh my God, it has been 2 weeks, hasn't it?
It has.
What happened last week?
Everything fell apart at the last minute.
Yeah.
You got called into work later.
That's right. I had to work a 15-hour shift.
And then
My paycheck was badass today.
and then
Those poles don't swing around themselves, man.
I know.
and then Joe had some in-laws come in from out of town or something. So
That's right.
it would have been much fun for Shanzi and I to sit there and talk about handheld gaming.
I would have enjoyed listening to it and blasting the hell out of it on the internet.
It would have gone by so fast.
I'm like, yep, so
Probably
there's
just-
this thing.
Probably
there
would
was.
Probably would have just talked about what we've been playing and then read the news or read your notes and then called it a night.
They would have literally gone through and literally read the notes verbatim and then been done with it.
Yep.
Gamecom was one of the first systems to have 2 game lessons. Like, yeah.
I was gonna say, I think I gave you guys worse notes this time than last time, anyways.
Yeah, I'll say it says opening by Mike, which we all know the opening is going to be by you. So let's throw this
the
out.
third opening was by him.
Mostly due to the fact that you can't talk. So yeah,
Sorry, I've spent the better part of the last day not talking to anybody, and so
Yeah.
this is the most
Because
talking.
I'm
His
playing
SimCity people don't talk
SimCity.
to him.
We can all I know how to do is play SimCity.
You know what? I'm sorry. It's a lot of fun.
He's
Yeah,
like
if you're a
one
city
wow
planner.
being that guy.
Well, I was looking forward to it, and I watched videos like EA did these "Let's All Be Mayor" videos last week. They did 7 cities over 7 days to show you like the different types of cities that you can build, the different things, and they had like producers and game designers come on, and they were playing the game while these 2 improv comedians were asking the questions, like moderating for Twitter and Facebook, and it was really interesting to watch. I actually watched the better part of all of them. So I was really excited for the game, and you know, I like everyone else that was excited for the game was waiting around for it to unlock at midnight on Monday to download on Origin. And midnight, or I should say 12:01 rolled around and nothing happened.
Wah, wah,
12:02
wah.
rolled around, nothing happened. And finally,
I can
about
in my head I see you staring at a clock.
well
Come on!
at about 12:05, I was like, okay, let's see what Twitter has to say. And oh my god, Twitter had exploded. Like, apparently people don't understand how the internet works. It's not everything is instantaneous. And
It's like just because they upload something at midnight does not mean you get it at midnight.
well, yeah, because it has to hit it has to like go across and hit different servers in different regions.
Yeah, so it's like it's slowly zombie outbreaking across the country.
Yeah, and then you have to understand that when the people that get it, they're all of a sudden they're hitting the server really hard, and that slows everything down. And it's like,
Yeah.
and so people were like crying, refund, and they want their money back, and
Meanwhile, it's 12:07.
and this went on and on and on and on and on, and I stayed up until 3:30, and I still had not gotten my game still had not unlocked, and I was really hoping to be able to download it to take it to work with me to play it.
So, is there any way to like queue it up so it would download immediately or no?
No, what actually happened when I got up, more power to my fiance for being awesome. When I got up yesterday morning, it was available to download, so I started downloading it, and it was like a 10 gig download or something, and I was like, well, this isn't going to download before I leave for work. Bless her heart, she brought my computer to me at work after it had finished. So I was actually able to avoid
Doing work like usual.
well, yeah, and watching all of my TV shows. I don't know.
He's got to watch his stories.
I was on my programs. Damn it, my programs.
Whatever, Golden Girl.
Why do I always feel terrible at the fact that I actually go to work? It's weird.
I don't
It's
know.
not terrible. It's jealous. Like, damn it, my ass hasn't been sit on in 8 hours. Ugh.
As everyone knows, the other thing about the game is it has an always on internet connection. It does not work without being connected. The way I got around that at work was I actually used the tethering on my phone for once. And luckily it sips data. Like, it's not a constant stream. I think it
So it's like data bursts almost.
yeah, everything's asynchronous. Like, there's multiplayer in the game. Like, you can have multiple cities in a region, and you can either have all the cities in the region for yourself, or you can jump into a region and plan a city and play with other people, and you can share resources.
Can you fuck up other people's cities?
No, you cannot.
Well, what the hell?
So, well, what you can do is you can be a total dick and not supply them with anything. You could not. I mean, they could be
Bow
crying.
before me.
I mean, they could be crying
Trade
out like,
embargoes.
pretty much. I mean, they can cry out and be like, "We need resources. We need money. We need this," and I could be like, "I have all of that in abundance, guys."
I would just start buying random stuff and showing off. Look what I just bought.
Well,
I have 6 of these already.
I was just playing around with my first city, and I found myself. I was playing with 2 other people that I did not know, and for some reason, the chat function, there's no voice chat yet. It's all
So it's like text based.
yes, it's all text based, and for some reason, I could not text that. I could not get a message out, but the game does a really good job of relaying to you what your neighbors need. And I'm sitting here in my city, and I'm like raking in the money. Like, it's really easy to make money in this game. Like, if you're not making money in the new SimCity,
You're not trying.
yeah, you're not trying. And I was like raking in the money, and all I saw was these other 2 guys saying, we need money. And you can see how much money they have. Like, you can see the stats about their city. So they can't just say they need money. The game says it for them.
Okay.
And then
They can say it, but you can be look at their city and be like, no, you don't.
well, yeah, but the game also throws up an icon, like, of various needs that they have. Like, if they need fire coverage, there'll be like a little flame, or health coverage will be the cross. Cops will be the police shield, and so you can send them to help if you want to, and you get reimbursed for all this stuff. But what I was doing is I was just raking in the money, and I was building my city really slowly, and I couldn't figure out what I wanted to spend it on. So I was like, I'll just give my money away. So I just started giving money to the other two people that I didn't even know in my region. I started giving them the money. But no, I
That's
played
how
it
you
for.
get into debt, USA. Jesus.
Hey, I made all my money back, and I actually playing today. I was actually able to save the city even more. It's nice because the last SimCity I played was SimCity 4, and that game was like, for me, in my opinion, that game was broken. You could fail a city within 30 minutes of starting one, and there was like no coming back.
So I have a question. If you fail a city, does Arrow come after you?
No, sorry.
You failed this city.
There is a superhero and a supervillain.
Oh God.
There's then I got that for pre-ordering it. It's Maxis Man and Evil Doctor Vu, and they do different things for your city. So I haven't played with them yet because I'm too scared to. But Maxis Man will fly around your city and he'll fight crime for you. And he if your jails are full, he brings them back to his lair, and then they just disappear. Do with that what you will. Maybe he kills them. I don't know. But
Sends them to the negative zone.
yes, but the evil Doctor Vu, he actually does something really neat. So if you have a city that's like full of crime and you plop down his headquarters, he will amass criminals in his headquarters,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it's full up, he will send them out in a crime wave across your city, and they'll spread out to your neighboring cities and steal a bunch of stuff and bring it all back as profit for your city.
That's
So
awesome.
you can fuck over other cities.
That's like the only way that you can. That I and it, but it's it and it was actually really cool because I was trying to upgrade my services. Like there's like a police station and then there's a police headquarters. And so like you start with a police station, then you can upgrade it to the police headquarters when you have a big city. And I had a jail attached to my police station, and when I blew it up, it doesn't just anyone that was in there, they don't die. So I blew it up and I had the crime map up and I saw this like 50 criminals all of a sudden showed up on my map where the police headquarters was, and they spread out in a fan across my city. Like
Scatter.
like killing and murdering it, and like graffiti
Also
was getting tagged
nefariously.
everywhere. Yeah. And then when I plopped down my new police HQ, by the time I plopped down the police HQ, my city had turned orange on the map, saying that it was all crime. And then I plopped down the police presence, and the police presence was so heavy in that one spot, instead of being blue, it was like purple. And I watched it slowly as the police officers spread out around the city and reined everybody back in.
So you had to blow up the old police station to make a new one?
I didn't have to do it that way, but
You just did.
I wanted them in the same spot. And I didn't for some reason it didn't dawn on me that the criminals would just break free. Like they would be
So
set
you blew it up,
free.
the cameras will just be like, scatter.
Yeah, I thought they'd all die.
Now, everybody be on your best behavior. I'm going to take all the cops away.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, mister. We'll be real good.
But and the same thing happens like if you close your hospital, like all the sick people that are in there leave, and then you have a chance for a zombie outbreak.
Oh, that's sweet.
I've had a couple. The game like it was really nice because the game like it swung back and forth. Right, I'd be making a ton of money and progressing forward, and then I'd be making like nothing and failing all of it. Like I'd be like losing money, and I'd be like, oh man, I'm gonna lose it. It's gonna fall apart on me, and that never actually happens because the game when you run out of money, the game actually wants you to succeed. So it throws up a menu. It's like, do you want to turn off city services or raise taxes or zone more places to build, or do you just want to start a new city? And I was like, oh, I'll just turn off city services. And so I was constantly fighting with what I could leave turned on and what I could leave turned off. Because if you turn off like let's say you turn off City Hall, all of a sudden you lose access to you don't just turn off City Hall, you lose access to like your advanced water and sewage. So all of a sudden people will start getting sick. But I at one point I had a population of like 100,000 people, and the economy and everything started sliding the other way, and I lost 60,000 people in like 5 minutes. I had like a massive traffic jam like leaving the city, and I was able to turn it around by shutting everything off. And while I was in the process of doing that, an earthquake hit
Hmm.
just randomly in the game. I was like, "What are you doing to me?" Because that starts fires, and my fire departments were turned off. And then as soon as that was done, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna start cleaning this mess up." And then like two tornadoes hit in a row, and I was like, "You really want me to not play this city?" Um, but I actually turned it around, and I now have like a city. It's like almost 200,000 people in it, and so that's kind of fun. And then I started another one, because there's actually like a mini trading game in it where you can mine for coal and ore and oil, and you have to like build like oil pumping stations and coal mines and stuff like that to get the stuff out of the ground, and it's all finite. And you can get it out of the ground, and then you can take coal and ore and you can turn it into like an alloy and a metal, and you can sell that to make more money. So I was playing around with that. I'm in the process with that city. I'm in the process of just amassing like an incredible amount of wealth through selling that stuff off on the market. And then I'm gonna give all the money away to the people that are around me. And then I'm just gonna like destroy the city with a bunch of disasters.
Can you how you can force disasters?
Yeah, you could be like, oh, I want an earthquake in this spot, or I want a meteor shower to take this out. So yeah, I'm gonna raise it. I'm gonna raise the area and totally burn it to the ground after I've taken all the wealth out of the land, and then I can abandon that city. Um, but somebody else can turn around and take it over if they like someone else came along that particular map. They could take over that land and try and like rejuvenate it because I've trashed the land. It's like inhabitable. Um, but no, I'm having a lot of fun. There's just a lot of new interesting things they can do, and it totally checks into that. Oh, I just got to do one more tweak here, one more thing there. Um, and Allie and I were like right before we got on the podcast. I was playing with the city that's got almost 200,000 Sims in it, and I was trying to get enough Sims into my university so that I could upgrade the university. And I was almost there. And I was like, if I just tweaked it. And she goes, "You're never going to stop playing." I was like, "I know." And so I just kind of, she made me stop playing so we could go get some food. And then now
Okay.
here I am.
So what happens that way if you're playing the because you said you're always on connection? Does stuff happen in your city when you're not there?
No, it does not. If
Oh,
that's,
okay.
it's all asynchronous. So let's say if I set up a city and I'm playing with you,
Hmm.
and the way it works is that anything that you create in excess, like power or water treatment, or you pump more water out of the ground than you're supposed to, that stuff can be like if you're playing in your city, you can see that and you can buy it from me. So like right now, I have a surplus of power. Like I have enough power in my city is generating enough power to power another city of the same size.
So if I had a city the same size, I could literally have no power supply and just run off of yours if you let me.
Exactly. And I don't have to let you. You just buy it from me and the game gives me the money.
But do you have an option to be like, no?
No, what'll happen is if you suck all the power out to where I'm in like a neutral state where I'm just cutting even, if you take it past the point where my city will no longer function, it shuts yours off.
Completely?
I mean the deal will still be there for you to take it, but it you won't be able to take any power from me. My city comes first. Anything I overproduce, you get. So you never pay for anything more than what you're getting from me.
Okay. So what if, like, say I have a city and I'm running under power and you go, and you decide to like cut your power production?
Um,
You'd screw my city over?
well, one, I'd probably screw my city. But if I did, yes, if I cut power production, you would lose. You would
So if
lose
you cut yours in
power.
half, so you're producing exactly the amount your city needed.
You would be screwed. But
Yeah.
but you won't be screwed until like I start playing. Like until you start playing again. Like if I'm playing without you, I'm not entirely sure how this works. It's all asynchronous. It's like the turn-based games we play on the phone. so none of it's in real time. So even if you're not playing, I'm still getting money from your city.
So if I don't play for a week,
But but you're not losing anything. I don't know how it works. It's weird, but it's neat. It's neat when you're playing with people that know what's going on. Like that first region I got in, I was trading resources back and forth with people and sending cops over to patrol his street because I had like 15 cop cars, and uh,
whatever that
I
word is.
needed it for the
Totalitarian.
yeah.
Thank you.
I
I've
needed
had too
it.
much
I needed
drinks.
it to deal with the crime wave that I caused. But then instead of getting rid of them, I was like, you know what? I will just be the police force for the rest of the region. And
You
I
are
sent them
freaking
out.
America. He's America.
Um, and so like right now, I feel like I'm the only one when I jump in like a region to play with people. I feel like I'm the only one that gets the you're supposed to pay attention to who's around you and kind of help each other out. Um, the real problem I've run into, like I said, there's finite resources in the game, and water is one of them. And my mining city, the one where I'm trying to make all the money, I've taken all the water out of the ground on my plot of, on my little city. And so everybody's screaming for water and people are leaving in mass and buildings are shutting down because there's no water, but nobody in the region is supplying water. Like it's like I can't do anything without just abandoning the city. So that's kind of a bummer.
So you
So
screwed your entire city.
I did, but
Way to be a dick.
I have a shit ton of money though.
Well, thank God they can drink that.
They can drink the oil I'm pulling out of the ground.
they'll just ship in bottled water.
So, but yeah,
So like, is the money separated between all your cities, or is it like a pool?
it's separated. Like I get my own, you would get your own.
No, no, I mean
Oh,
like, say, so that city you have that's making tons of money, that city dies, that money gone.
yes.
Ugh.
So if that city what'll happen is as the city slowly dies, that money will be depleted down to zero. So
Ah.
if I was just gonna cut and run, I would gift it to the people around me.
And then start up a new one and have them gift it back.
Well, I could do that. Like if we were playing together, I could go into a region and
Strip mine.
strip the area for all of its resources and get all the money, and then sell it to you guys, and go start another city in the region, and you guys could sell it all back to me, and I could like build like a super city.
Or we could not and just keep his money.
Yeah, that's true. But that's what I'm gonna do for the guys that I'm playing in the region with, where I'm building the coal thing. I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I'm out.
Here's a couple million.
Yeah, I'm out.
Buy
Bitches.
yourself something nice.
Yeah, I'd like to see the guy that comes in here. And it was really interesting because in the first city that I was in, the guy that I was sharing resources with, he up and left. And I was like, well, that was kind of weird. All right. And then someone else jumped in on his spot. And I saw like in his little text thing, it said, wow, I don't know what happened here, but this place is trashed. Ugh. And I was like, wow, okay, what happened? So I hopped out into region view and I went and looked at the guy's city. The guy like raised everything. There wasn't a single tree. It was like scorched earth. I was like, whoa, what the hell?
Before
happened?
I leave, I'm just gonna sell the ground so nothing ever grows. Like,
It was crazy. And I recently installed right before we started recording. Because my Sims were crying for power constantly because I was using solar and wind energy. And
yeah, that doesn't work. You need oil.
well, I saved up the money and I have my Sims are educated enough to have a nuclear power plant.
That'll never end badly.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. What happened when
Like,
Godzilla.
there is?
Yeah.
I've been attacked by Godzilla.
I was gonna ask if he was in that.
But when you click,
Tell me there's a mod to make it Bowser.
I don't know. Probably not because it's all server based. But the cool thing about when you click on a building, they tell you like what is needed for the building to be successful or how much power it's generating for you and that stuff. But when you click on the nuclear reactor, it says education level, safe. Like,
So if your people are too dumb,
yes. So if I
it'll
went,
go Chernobyl.
yeah. So if I went through and I took out all the schools in my city, everybody will become slowly. Everyone will become dumb, and the nuclear reactor would then probably say like moderate or not safe or then hazardous or something, and it runs the risk of a meltdown. And when there is a meltdown, um, if you look at the radiation map, it's literally it looks like a bullseye. Like a nuclear explosion goes off, and there's a dense mass of red, and then a lighter shade of red, and
So
then
basically, like ground zero, then
yeah,
moving out.
yep. And anything that gets in that, nothing will grow there. The radiation will slowly deplete over time, but nothing will grow there. And even if Sims like drive through it, they will become sick. Um, One of the cities that I watched EA, the Maxis guys build on their live stream, they put in a nuclear power plant for shits and giggles, and then they hit it with a meteorite. And so it blew up, and it left the radiation pattern on the ground. Well, they decided to put an airport right in
There.
it. And so Sims were flying in on the aircraft, and before they even left the airport, they were like sick and dying. So it's fun, and like I said, it reminds me more of like SimCity 2000 than like the last SimCity, because it's a lot easier to correct your mistakes, and you can see changes happening faster, so you know if you're on the right track with something. Um, but I'm having a lot of fun. Like I said, I've sunk probably like 15 between 15 and 17 hours into the game already.
No, you sunk 15 in the first day.
Yeah.
Like,
So, but I haven't been able
Yeah.
to. I haven't been able to play that much today because.
oh my god, how are you
No,
alive?
well,
are
For
you
like
breathing?
only like what 8
No,
hours?
for some stupid reason, they decided today would be a good day to push out a server patch, and so it went down. Like their servers have been. It's been
They
like
probably want to get it done before the weekend.
yeah, but but the things that they've listed that they're fixing weren't even like game breaking. Like if it was me, I'd be like, okay, you just got bad press from your launch. Why not just why not let it breathe? Let people play, and then in a week when most people are just done with the game anyways, then do your patch. Like, don't do 2 days of bad press in a row. Excuse me. That's just I don't know. But I wasn't mad that I wasn't able to get it at midnight. I wasn't expecting it to download instantly at midnight. I mean, I usually have pretty good luck when it comes to that kind of stuff, so I thought I'd take my chances. But I guess what started pissing a lot of people off is that people that pre-ordered couldn't download it at midnight. But if you went into the store on Origin and you said add to cart and you bought it at that moment, it would start downloading.
Hmm.
But people that pre-ordered, it was not unlocking for them, and that's what kind of started all the shit. Like, I want my refund.
Rage.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I actually said something like, if you thought that the launch of SimCity was going to go smoothly, then you must be from the future. Why did you come back to this mess? So,
Well, it's like when a new Call of Duty game comes out and everybody hops on. That first night is horrible for multiplayer. No point to it.
yeah, I kind of wish
Just it crashes every time.
I wish that or you can't get in a game, Modern
Yeah.
Warfare 2. Everyone's playing, but nobody can get in a game together. Anyways, the one thing I wish that they would do with this, even if it is always online or that you have digital downloads and stuff like that, I wish that they would take the pre-order information about how many sales they have and base their starting server capacity off of that number.
It's like, oh, 1 million people pre-ordered this game. We better make sure our servers can at least handle 1 million.
Yeah, because
all at once.
Well, because the way it works right now is it's like, okay, we know this many people are pre-ordering it, but let's just assume
this many people are going to actually play.
250,000 people are going to try and sign on. So they plan for 250,000, but really it ends up being like 500,000 and stuff goes to shit. It's like they scale to it instead of scaling down to it. Like, It's like plan ahead and then work backwards. That way you can avoid this mess. And the reason they do that, I understand it's like a cost thing. It's like you don't want to run a server for 1 million people if there's never 1 million people on there. But at least you could do it for like a day, or two until you find out what your peak usage is. I don't know. But this is my first PC launch, like that I've done like a pre-order and a digital download. I guess there's all sorts of stuff like preloading games and they just magically unlock, which they didn't do with SimCity, which more people were complaining about. But no, I'm having a
people complain. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm having a blast. I'm looking forward to when we're done here and going back and playing it some more.
Of course you are.
It's also made me rethink purchasing Tomb Raider at this moment.
Because you don't want to buy it and have it just sit.
Yes.
Considering your New Year's resolution.
Yep.
I didn't figure you were going to buy it anyways.
I have it pre-ordered.
You have Tomb Raider pre-ordered?
Yeah.
You're too big of a chick to play that game. I'm sorry. It's not.
You're telling him right now he's not going to enjoy it?
Oh, he's going to be pissing his pants in the first 2 minutes.
I highly doubt it.
I was going to say, if you can't handle the remote, like, games that I don't even find remotely scary, I don't know.
The problem is, I never, even though they put Lara Croft in these weird situations, to me, it's going to be Lara Croft. It's like playing Batman. You don't get...
You're badass.
Guy who hasn't played it. Okay, all right.
But it's still Lara Croft.
Yeah,
So I know who the character is. Anyways,
I get what you're saying. But
let's
see.
I also finished Uncharted, so
of course.
Wasn't that a slow build to crazy though?
Wait, no.
Scary?
Wait. Are we talking about you finished Uncharted on Vita, or you?
No, I finished.
Okay.
I'm talking about Uncharted, Drake's Fortune. So,
Okay.
no, the only reason I'm not picking it up is because I just don't want it to sit here. That'd be $63 just doing nothing. So, but the problem is, at this point, I don't know if I'll be able to come back to it. So,
yeah, well, it's player SimCity. Enjoy it. Yeah, if you're enjoying it, play the hell out of it, man.
I did eat. Well, the servers were
Play
down
it
today.
until
though.
the wheels fall off.
Well, the servers were down today, though. I was like, you know what? I'll just go pick up Tomb Raider and play it till the servers come back on.
And then you look back, they're like, oh God, thank God. Like,
pretty much. Thank you for not making me drive to the store.
Look back like, maybe I should check just one last time to see the servers are on. Oh my God, they are.
So, Danner.
Yes.
Tomb Raider.
So, I came home last night after buying Tomb Raider.
Took pictures of it for Instagram.
Yes. I was getting the kids. The kids had to get a bath, so I was like, you know what? I'll run downstairs. I'll turn on the PS3, let the install start, and then I'll run upstairs. Lo and behold, there was, of course, a system update last night for the PS3 as well. So I had to wait for the system update. No, the system update was done. Popped the game in and waited to install that. And lo and behold, there was no install. It was ready to go. I was like, crap. So now I was just like, well, now I'm just like, ready to play. And I got like a half an hour until I can actually do anything. So I had to get the kids to bed. So my pre-order, which everybody at work didn't get this. If you pre-ordered at Best Buy, it came with a hardcover copy of the prequel comic book.
So you read that?
So I sat down and read the prequel comic book while I was getting the kids in bed and getting them to fall asleep, and I read that before I even played the game, and it was nice because it gives an insight to every single one of the characters that are in the game that are on the ship. And then because the game, like, there's no, it's like 60 seconds, hey, look, Lara Croft, you're on a ship, then boom, everything goes wrong, ship explodes, tearing apart, everything's going to hell, and land in the water and then crawl up on shore, and then you see all of your people directly out of sight, like they can't hear you, you're yelling for them, and then you get smacked over the head, and then it's you fading in and out of consciousness as you're being dragged down into the caves, and just seeing human remains and skulls everywhere. And it's pretty much where the E3 demo starts.
Is that what you think I'm not going to be able to stand? Or is this something else?
There's other stuff, but I think I just don't understand your aversion to
Survival horror?
Well, or remotely scary games. I mean, I get an aversion to Silent Hill 2 because that game is fucking creepy. But it's the thing about Tomb Raider that I've really liked so far is the environments are gorgeous. The gameplay is incredibly solid. And the slow tension build, the tension just always seems to be there. And yes, it's exactly as you described it. It's the fact it's Lara Croft. I've actually described it to somebody the other day the exact same way. It's like playing Arkham. You're playing as Batman. No matter what scary situation you're playing,
your Batman can handle this.
Exactly.
I don't know if I'd be able to, but Batman's gonna kick some ass right here.
See, that's like
and it's kind of like BioShock 2. You're playing as a Big Daddy. How freaking freaked out can you get by that game because of the fact that you already established the fact that you're a Big Daddy in that game, and it's kind of hard to be. You kind of get that superhero complex.
You're already one of the most badass things. These little guys bitch slap this thing.
Yeah, exactly. When I was doing Arkham Asylum, and you've come across the guy, everyone with the white eyes when you go see, when you realize Scarecrow's around.
Yeah.
I was kind of creeped out for a second. I was like, no, what am I afraid of? I'm just going to start punching stuff. What this?
And it's really interesting to see that all for the reboot, like a lot of the classic characters from the series are in the game. They've just been re-established. They're pretty much the same people, but it's just a re-establishing of everybody. Like the hacker who lives on Lara Croft's, the computer guy that lives on Lara Croft's estate and has his headquarters there at the mansion and kind of helps her with stuff. He's one of the characters who are in the game. Her mentor from it's an Angel of Darkness that they kind of have the run-in with there. He's the ship's captain. And her mentor there and kind of, pushing her. He's not a total D-bag like he is in the other games in the series. But it's really... And the fact that they actually chose an actual legitimate place to set this whole thing, that it's actually based on real... But Tomb Raider's always been kind of good about that, how it's always been kind of based on some sort of actual, legend and actual places, because it's, what I say, it takes place on the Dragon's Circle, which is on the complete opposite end of the world of where the Bermuda Triangle is.
Okay.
So it's an actual phenomenon type of a place.
Is it like legitimately straight across? Perfectly straight across?
It's literally straight across. You just hear everybody talk about the Bermuda Triangle.
Because circles are so last year. Everybody's into triangles.
Yes. But it's... The first kill that you have to do in the game is just so well done and so creepy. Just nuts. Like,
did they do a better job of I'm not this type of person than Far Cry 3 did?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
It's
like, does it do a better job of the fish out of water than Far Cry 3 did?
It does somewhat, because of the fact, like, the first thing that happens is it's one of those things they do. it's they do a good job of kind of nerfing that Lara Croft experience because of the fact that with the first time you really have any control over her, she's hanging upside down, wrapped in animal skins from the top of a cavern, and you break loose and you fall, and the first thing that happens is when you fall and you free yourself is you land on a piece of broken femur that punctures you right in the side. So you're in bad shape from the game. I'm like, you've just in a huge shipwreck. So she wasn't in good shape to start off with, but now she has a puncture wound through her side. And it's just crap keeps happening that she gets severely injured constantly, which makes the experience a little more believable for how the kind of scared girl type of a thing. Unlike Far Cry, it doesn't really seem like I killed somebody and now I'm a total badass, kind of like that curve that kind of happens in Far Cry, where it's just like, oh my god, I can't believe I killed somebody, and now I'm gonna kill them and kill them and kill them.
Okay. Well, so like Far Cry 3, right? When I started playing that game, I approached it like I would any other shooter because that's how the game let me do it, and I was like, I'm cutting fools and I'm sniping people from 4 football fields away, and I can do this because I've seen a military shooter before, but I don't buy that this character could ever do this.
Yeah, maybe he played video games before.
Well,
I think the way that it slowly evolves, especially
video game violence,
do they hinder you with gameplay? Is what I was getting at. Because she's injured, does she control differently? Or do you have the same control?
She moves a little bit slower, but I think eventually she gets used to the discomfort and then she controls fine. Like, she's limping and moving pretty slowly at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
But it kind of, as time goes on, it kind of even keels itself out when she bandages herself and that kind of stuff. It's just so solid so far, which through some of the reviews that I've read, that after about 3 or 4 hours, the story starts to crumble, but the gameplay's so solid that it holds it together. So I'm interested to see if the story really, truly, in my opinion, starts to fall apart, because so far it's been really good. The one thing I can say, because Tomb Raider has been one of those series that has always been compared to Uncharted, or Uncharted's been compared to it, because Uncharted did so many things better and evolved that type of game. The one thing that I could say in the first 20 minutes of the games, I was like, man, this has a feel a lot like Uncharted, but it doesn't baby you like Uncharted does. Like, things aren't highlighted in yellow everywhere when to climb something. And there's multiple ways to get through areas. I mean, you could skip right past the tombs and stay on the ground, or you can go underground and find relics and stuff like that. Or the other thing that I'm incredibly impressed with, that I always it was probably one of the only things that really ever irked me about Uncharted, was let's get you in a room and then send a bunch of guys after you and just wave after wave after wave after guy. Where in this game, it's like an appropriate amount of bad guys when you encounter them.
Okay.
They don't, you beat a couple guys in this area and then all of a sudden a bunch of other guys come out from another area. There may be 2 guys in an area around the corner that hear what's going on, because if you make noise or if a gunshot goes off, yes, the people in the area will come, but it's not like wave after wave of guys. It's 1 or 2 extra guys show up. It's not 5 guys with missile launchers show up and a guy with a chain gun shows up type of a thing. Of course, I'm only 2 hours into the game. For all I know, that happens later. But it seems like an appropriate response, I guess. And the the enemy AI is really good, and every time a bush moves in that game, I get a little on edge because the wolves are a bitch in that game, and they
So
all travel in packs.
what's the control scheme like? What's the closest? Because I when you look at it, it's like a Resident Evil type camera or like an Arkham Asylum type camera, isn't it? Like you're
Yeah.
kind of over her shoulder.
Yep.
Does it play like either one? Like uh,
Um.
or is it like, or did they reinvent the control scheme again?
I don't. It doesn't really. The control scheme seems solid. Doesn't really feel completely forced. I was gonna say on the PS3 controller, you have like your survival instinct, which is L2, which basically everything in the world goes black and white, and a pulse goes out, and points of interest are highlighted in gold.
But you said
Or
there was nothing gold. No, I'm just kidding.
go fuck yourself. Um, and then like it's it's L1 to pull up your bow and arrow, and to create tension, and then it's R1 to release
Mm.
your arrow. But I
Now,
mean,
the
you actually
longer
have
you
to
hold
pull your
tension,
arrow.
does it like
The
make
longer
it?
you pull it, because if you literally just pull it up and shoot, you'll have to empty like 4 or 5 arrows into something in order to kill it. But if you
So the
actually
longer you
pull
hold
it,
down, the more powerful a shot.
correct.
Okay, because you're drawing
So
the strength.
so shooting like just shooting shots off with the bow and arrow does not help you. Um,
So it's better to take one good shot than 5 fast ones.
yeah, and if you get tension all the way up and do a headshot, it'll take people out. The only way
I'd
to do
hope so.
the only
An arrow to
way
the
to really
face.
do any silent kills is with the bow and arrow with the pickaxe. Um, like there was a stealth kill that I had to do the other day. And you come up behind the guy and you grab the bow and you literally grab the bow and grind it into their Adam's apple and choke them back until you break their necks.
So you basically just like choke them out. You just come up behind them and like right across the neck.
Oh yeah.
Sick, nasty.
Okay, what you're describing to me. So I don't know how long you played the game for, but it sounds kind of like it's.
I've only put it an hour and 40 minutes into it so far.
See, it seems like it's. I don't know. I'll. You know what? I'm gonna have to go pick it up tomorrow because I want to have conversations and I want to have played it. So I will go pick it up tomorrow.
It's a really solid, and it's for a Square Enix game. I really expected it to be chopped full of bullshit overabundant cutscenes that really don't have a whole lot to do with the game. And there's literally was a little bit in the intro, and that was it.
Well, to be fair, it's published by Square Enix, but it's an
Well, it's
studio.
Crystal Dynamics, and Crystal Dynamics has done a wonderful job. Like Tomb Raider Legend was great.
Yes, it was.
Underworld was also really well done. Crystal Dynamics has done a good job with Tomb Raider, and I'm excited that a group that came in and has done the more recent games got a chance to go back and do it the way they wanted to, which, because, I mean, honestly, a lot of the times lately, people are a little afraid to do a reboot of a series that's well liked.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I've seen, it paid off with Devil May Cry also.
I think it did. I mean, I like the
still,
first Devil May
my
Cry
thing
too.
is I just don't care for Devil May Cry, period. So
It's
that's not my bag.
I no, I'm gonna go pick it up tomorrow. Because I want to have conversations and I want to play it. Like I liked Legend and I liked Underworld. The problem I had with Underworld is that Uncharted came out. I played Uncharted earlier in the year.
And I think that was a lot of the issues with Legend and Underworld in general is because of the fact that Uncharted came out and it out Tomb Raider.
So first impressions then, how does it, I don't even know if it's a fair question given that you've only played for an hour, like 2 hours. How do you feel it stacks up to Uncharted? I mean, do you see it? I mean, can you see? Do the characters play out better? Does it? I mean, you said it looks good. Is it Uncharted good?
Um, I don't the because Uncharted always looks really good and always feels like control wise really really solid. But I can't. The thing with Tomb Raider so far is I can't get over how well the environments, characters, and the weather system all how well everything works together. Because most of everything so far is there's been a constant downpour and thunderstorm going on, with lightning going off, and it's just the environment effects. I would say the only thing I've been disappointed with so far is the animals look a little meh. The deers look a little meh.
They're just off.
There's just they could be.
They need to copy paste the Assassin's Creed animals.
Yeah. The and I was gonna say that seems to be a thing that's been overdone in like the past 5.5 months. Is just been the need to put animals and hunting animals into games. It makes complete sense in the regards to this game because you're completely in survival mode here and you're fending for your life constantly with very little resources.
Well, the bow is all. People have been calling it the year of the bow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and wolves.
And the interesting thing that me and Andy were talking about this at work today is the fact that they took something from Dark Souls and implemented it incredibly well into this game. The fact that your checkpoints in the game are campfires, and when you get to your campfire, that's when you can upgrade your skills and upgrade your weapons and do the weapon augmenting and build up all of your stuff, but you can only do them at those checkpoints, and they're all campfires, which is something that they did in Dark Souls.
I guess I'm struggling to see what's the difference from just going into like the any upgrade thing in any game, because most of them are like a point. I mean,
and then you can fast travel between all of your campfires also, which is kind of nice.
I guess just the way you described it, I don't see the difference between that and the way that Far Cry 3 handles. You fast travel between depots, and that's where you do all your upgrading and stuff. Is it because it's around a campfire?
Okay, I'm done. I'm going home. Bye.
I'm just wondering why that sticks out when
I just thought it was an interesting thing. I guess it's not that interesting to you, the master of all gaming.
I was just asking a question.
I don't know. Why is it so questionable?
I'm just trying to find out what makes it different than that. Whatever. I'm not knocking you. I was just asking a question.
That sounds like you're being bitchy to me.
Okay.
No, I don't know. It's really different. It isn't, I guess, unlike anything else. I just thought it was an interesting take. I like how they overlay the button commands also, and it's hard to describe. If you've seen the videos, you kind of see how they do it, but the real-time events it's kind of interesting. And by the way, if you're not a real-time event fan, which most people I don't think are anymore, they pretty much get all the real-time events out of the way in the first like 10-15 minutes of the game. And they're pretty much non-existent after that.
Does it play? I'm just going back here real quick. So I'm trying to find the basic. Is most of it contextual, like Arkham Asylum is, or Assassin's Creed? Is it most like a lot of like push button to win games now, where everything's kind of contextual? You walk up to one object, it's always the same. Like one button does all the same thing, just depending on where you are.
Most of the square buttons kind of is like the environment interaction button in the game.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Am I answering your question correctly?
Well, it's kind of like I'm guessing there's no combat and stuff. Like, okay, so there's like long range combat with the bow, and you mentioned the pick.
Yeah.
But is there like Any kind of like hand-to-hand type stuff? Like, is it?
I haven't
Does it-
noticed any at all. There's like the circle button's a scramble button, so you'll like go down on all fours and kind of like strafe to the side, kind of like a duck and strafe type
Okay.
of move. Because trust me, you'll need it when you come across the wolves.
You got to get down to their level.
No, it's more so when they lunge at you, if you don't strafe, they will tackle you and start eating your face off.
Okay.
Just because everything's kind of fresh in my mind, there's like, I don't really have a lot of answers for things just because of the fact that there's been more questions than there's been answers so far in the game.
It's all right. I just, I'm like I said, I'll go pick it up. We can talk about it again next week.
Yeah.
You got anything you want to add? We can move on to Shanzi.
Nah, we can move on to Sean.
Ooh, thanks. Like, mostly I've been catching up on my Battlefield, getting ready because the next DLC drops next week, or the last DLC drops next week rather, which I'm excited about because it adds capture the flag, which, well, with the vehicles, it's going to be pretty crazy.
Oh, I think I played that once with Bad Company.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, especially they're adding dirt bikes and stuff, really fast vehicles that don't really have any cover. So sure, you can hop on a motorcycle and sprint across the screen really quick, but if anybody's in anything that has a gun,
you're up shit creek.
yeah. We can have like people riding in the back though. I downloaded the newest DLC for Mass Effect, came out yesterday. I was gonna play it, but instead I felt like busting my ass. So
I haven't bought a single DLC for that yet.
they're all good. There's no bad ones.
I know.
They're all really
it's
good.
one of those things that I think I was kind of waiting for all of them to come out.
Yeah.
Because
last one,
I honestly think the
comes in-
DLCs for Mass Effect 3 will probably be the last DLC anything that I buy on the 360.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
The last one comes in two parts. Actually, it's two separate DLCs, two separate downloads.
Nice.
I'm assuming it's because of size, because altogether it's like, yeah, on the 360, because altogether it's like 4 gigs.
Nice.
Well, so been doing that. Every once in a while, I'm popping out and playing Modern Warfare 2 because I'm hip and current like that.
Yeah.
And finding out how bad I suck.
And because you traded in the new one, you moron.
Because I'm a traitor. Screw you. I've been trying to. I got one of my buddies who plays Halo 4. I've been trying to go through the Spartan Ops. It's a pain in the ass, though.
Yeah, are they fun?
They're fun. They're plenty fun, but I've said in a previous podcast is I can't search for random people for old episodes. Only the current one that's going on.
Oh, that's right.
So it's just us, and I don't want to play through on easy because I'm not a pussy, Mike.
What?
What? What?
What game
I
did
recently
I played on easy?
No, I'm just calling you a pussy in general.
Oh.
Not. Calm down. I recently went out and I found a used copy of Marvel Ultimate Alliance. So that's got to get played pretty soon.
The first one?
First one. Yep.
You actually had to go find a copy of it?
I don't have mine anymore.
I was going to say, those things literally fall out of the sky.
Hey, did you shake your couch cushion?
Yeah. There is common to find at changing your couch.
Well, yeah, but like whenever like I'll see like, oh, they have 3 used copies, I always look at the disc first and I'll be like, no. So I finally found a good one worth the $5 they were charging.
I gotta go piss. I'll be back.
That's nice.
Okay.
You can keep talking. I'm sure you won't cover anything that I care about.
Wow. So, anyways.
So, and now I just got to find the second one because I've been trying to play through good multiplayer games with my girlfriend, good co-op, games, and that's like one of my favorite co-op games of all time.
Now, I understand how Ultimate Alliance works with couch co-op, but
Yeah,
I'm wondering how it works with online co-op? Like,
I've done it.
but does it? Are the character like if you host the characters and their levels are from your game, right? Like all the
No,
upgrades and
like
stuff, or
I pick. Let's say me and you are hosting a game.
okay.
You have access to your characters.
Oh,
I have access to my characters.
oh, well, yeah, we should definitely play.
So like we could. I don't know if you can overlap though. Like I don't know if two Captain Americas can be in the same party at a time.
Well, I'm not worried about that. I think I took all the characters to the maximum.
But oh
level.
yeah, I've played it before, and the last time I played was years and years and years ago. And I was playing with this really cool guy who was like very much into it. He's like, Captain America, get him! He's like, fuck your names, you're who you are.
Yeah,
Get him, Hawkeye.
My friend and I. That's one of the first 360 games I ever had. We went into the danger room or whatever it is, and I think we did the second or third mission repeatedly, and leveled every character in the game to level 50 or whatever it was, and then we started playing the game. So we were super overpowered from the get-go, killing things in one hit and just having a grand old time. So
Yeah, it's
too much fun.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like I think we should all play that again soon.
we sure. I'm up for it.
Now we have right. I mean, I'm assuming the servers are still open for it. So
Oh, I don't know.
well, I think they just use Microsoft, don't they? I don't think they host their own.
I don't know. We'll find out. So anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
Well, I think before we go on the break here real quick, I pretty much talked Allie into getting a PlayStation 4 as well instead of the next Xbox.
So you guys are both playing PS4s?
Yep.
That seems necessary.
Well, if we're going to play a multiplayer game, it is.
Yeah, like what if they get Borderlands 3? Okay,
man.
what if they get a game?
Destiny. Let's say Destiny.
I'm gonna say right now, there's no fucking way I'm buying Borderlands 3 after this DLC bullshit.
Yeah, Allie and I have been talking about that. That's gonna be such an uphill battle. Anyways, we could talk about that on next week's show.
Hey, Rady Pitchford, you're an asshole.
It's not, and they didn't even wrong me with Aliens Colonial Marines. Like I didn't go out and buy it thinking it was.
Yeah, that's not even
awesome.
a game that was on my radar.
Like,
really, that I wanted.
They didn't even wrong me, but like that, along with like their DLC for Borderlands 2. I mean,
so like the last 6 months has really just been a bummer for them, huh?
Yeah, well, it's been a black eye for Gearbox. I mean, it's.
Did anything ever come of that? I mean, Sega's got to be laying into them, right?
I don't know. I haven't heard if there is anything happening. Nobody knows what's happening. I just know that Gearbox has gone back to peddling shift codes for Borderlands 2.
Oh my god! Every time I look on, it's like you can have 5 keys.
I think John said he was up to 50 golden keys.
I stopped caring about.
Yeah. Well, because since we have all the legendaries, who I didn't even really care anymore.
We still have one more BS DLC to get through before the good one comes out.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's one more. There's one more free DLC, and then they're going to release a
free.
Character.
I paid $30 for this garbage.
No. Well, one of them is free.
Well, one of them's free for everyone. Yeah. I think. Right?
Yeah, it was 4 DLCs for the price of 4. It was 4 DLCs for the price of 3. Was the season pass offer, but then there's going to be another character, which I'm actually interested in the character because it means I get to play the main game again. But the level, like I don't know if I'm more mad that they did it or I'm more mad that I called that they were going to do that shit. The DLC, the level cap that everybody wants is they're going to make you pay for it again. And I don't know. It's going to be such an uphill, and at that point we're going to have Destiny. Like, it's not even that it's going to be an uphill battle for Borderlands 3. They're going to be competing against Bungie and Destiny. Like,
Yeah,
Wha-
the mother of all multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean, how and Destiny's is even more MMO than Borderlands. Like, how do you? I'm just
But holy is GameStop pushing Destiny?
yeah. I don't think I'm kind of
Is it even coming out this year?
no. It's next year.
No.
Okay.
Um,
This doesn't seem like it'd be a decent this generation game. Seems like it'd be a
well,
far better next gen game.
it's on all platforms.
Yeah, so basically the pussified versions of the games will be on the Xbox and PS3, and then the actual
But
game will be on the
yeah, but you don't have any problems with those. You still want
nope.
Watch Dogs.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, all right. Well, we're going to take a break. We'll come back on the other side and we'll take a look at Portable Gaming Part 2. Brought to you by Danner.
At the start of the episode, you heard Fiasco by Benjamin Dumsa. You'll also be listening to Atrophy at the break here. You can find Benjamin at www.bennydoom.com. You'll find many music videos there and his music tracks there for you to listen to. You can also follow him at Twitter at Benjamin Dumsa. I'll spell that out for you. It's at BenjaminDumsa. Please show him some love. He's showing us plenty. Welcome to part 2 of our evolution of handheld gamings. We will be looking at the next wave of handheld games from the Game.com all the way up to the Nokia N-Gage. Part 2, an advanced tiger is about to engage.
Oh, this is going to be so bad.
Oh, it is. So, in September of 1997, Tiger Electronics, who's, known for releasing a bunch of single release kind of gaming handheld systems, decides to get into the handheld market themselves. And they release the Gamecom, or also known as the Game.com, released on the market at the low price of $70. Gamecom was one of the first systems to have a two game slots on the system. The system also had a modem that it plugged into, that you could go online and get games for the system.
14.4. Woo!
Yeah, 14.4.
Holy cow.
I'm sure those games were like 128 megabytes or something like that.
God, I would hope so. Like, I started
That
downloading
was
this game
probably
last week.
that was probably the internal memory on the game com was probably 128 megabytes at that point in time. The Gamecom targeted older gamers that they felt the Game Boy didn't reach, and failed miserably due to the lack of games. They only had 20, and very poor marketing on Tiger's part. It didn't really reach its target audience at all, and after a wondrous 3 years on the market, completely failed in 2000. They shut down all production of Gamecom.
Why does this look like something you'd find in a blister pack on your way out of like Rite Aid?
I know, doesn't it? Just like every other Tiger handheld ever made. Because I mean, it even looks like
it comes with solitaire. I don't know why this thing didn't sell.
I know, because everybody loves solitaire. and they had a decent amount of like licensed titles for the launch. I mean, for God's sakes, they even had Resident Evil 2. I mean, wouldn't you want to play Resident Evil 2 on the GameCon?
He can't play Resident Evil 2, period.
I think the modem is actually bigger than the console was.
It looks like it. Oh,
it looks huge.
Yeah. Seeing that, I don't know. For some reason, you brought up the modem for this, and all I can think about is X-Band. Please tell me I'm not the only one that remembers X-Band. I am.
I don't think I want to know what X-Band was.
Oh, X-Band was. I thought you would actually know what it was. X-Band was a modem for the SNES and the Sega Genesis.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I had that. I did Doom.
God, you would buy anything, wouldn't you?
My parents would buy me anything.
It's good to see it's carried out.
I did. I played Doom and NHL 94 or 5. Trying to find it on here. 95 or 96 was supported. It was actually kind of it was interesting. It was like my first the first time I ever went online with a game. So, but anyways, that was just a side note because it just I don't know. I saw that modem and just made me think of 14.4, and I was like, oh, X-Band. So,
it's really sad because I think the system would have really taken off if it
didn't suck.
Well, I was gonna say there's two games that Metal Gear Solid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night were canceled before the system died. They basically saw the sales for the system and goes, you know what? Let's not give you the rights to these games, and you guys can go fuck yourself.
Well, that still happens now. Hello, Raymond.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, on a side note, since we didn't, I totally forgot. I have gotten rid of my Wii U and traded it for a Vita.
Nobody cares.
But after the last time we were on the show, Shanzi reminded me.
He specifically said, "I will never sell my Wii U for a Vita." And then he does it like 3 days later.
But you know what?
I got what a Sony press conference and me.
Yep, I got what I paid for it. So, whatevs.
Some stupid idiot bought a used one for full price. Like, I feel bad for whoever bought that. I
sent it to them in the original box, all packaged the way that it came to me and everything. I mean, I don't even know. Yeah, but I still don't know why. Like, I was surprised. I was like, holy cow. But
you were expecting like somebody to be like Messenger or something and be like, I'll pay you $300 or something for it.
Yeah, but whatever. Anyways.
Dumbasses.
They obviously don't
wake up.
It's valued at all. So
nothing right now.
Anyways, on November 17th, 1998, the Game Boy Color by Nintendo was officially released for $79.95.
I never had a Game Boy Color.
I didn't either. It was the first backwards compatible handheld system, though.
Yes, it was.
Wasn't it just? Didn't they just like slam a Super Game Boy in a handheld cart, like into a handheld size? That's
No, you could take regular Game Boy games and put them in it.
well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, the colors. It wasn't like they were more. The colors were more Super Game Boy, weren't they? I wish Joe was here.
Yeah, they were. Because with the Super Game Boy, if anybody remembers Super Game Boy, you just take the Game Boy games, put it in your Super Nintendo, and then you could like tweak the color scheme for the games,
Yeah.
and then play your Game Boy games on the. It was man, it was a really dumb concept. That's why I never bought one. I was smart enough to steal it from my friend and never return it to. I'm sorry, borrow it from my friend and
Without asking and never returning.
I'm not gonna lie. If I go up to my closet upstairs right now, it's sitting in my closet.
Well, he's like, I don't want it, but you still can't have it.
They did it again with the Game Boy Advance and the GameCube.
Yeah,
So
I had a Game Boy Advance player for my GameCube.
Yep. I know you're both gonna hate me for saying this, but Game Boy Color was the last Game Boy I ever owned.
I'm not gonna hate you for saying that.
I'm not gonna hate you for
No,
that.
because yeah, like I just never got much into handhelds after
You
that.
didn't own an Advance? I thought everybody and their mama owned an Advance.
Nope.
Hmm.
Played a few, never owned one.
So apparently, this is more than just color. The insides were different too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot smaller.
Well, no, I mean like
It was thinner and
more powerful.
well, I think
Yeah.
they had to because resing those, adding those colors would put more strain on the battery, so they had to get more out of the batteries
used 2 AA batteries.
instead of 4.
4. I don't.
Four?
How much did the pocket? The pocket. Wait. The original was 4, and I
4.
think the pocket was 3, and the color is 2, and they stuck with 2 for the Advance also.
Well, I think that was as much as they could cut it down without
Yeah.
just put one in, play for 10 minutes.
It was
Yeah.
Game Boy Pocket was 4 AA's.
It was 4 AA's.
Yep.
I thought for sure that they. Okay.
Oh wait.
He's trying to read. Hang on, folks.
No, that was the Game Boy Light. The Game Boy Light had 4 AA's.
Yeah.
Wow. I shouldn't have done this.
So Mike just butted in without actually having any.
It was 2 AAA batteries. 2 AAA batteries.
2 AAA's.
Yep.
Makes sense. It is a pocket.
No.
The Game Boy Pocket was my favorite Game Boy. So.
It's the only Game Boy that could fit in his skinny jeans.
Yep.
I was still a fan of the Micro.
Did you wear it like a necklace?
Yes.
Oh, you would.
Actually
Right next to his
attached it to
Tamagotchi.
I would. I'm not going to say it because it's going to be wrong. Never mind. I'm going to stop.
Nope, you're saying it.
I used to attach it to the zipper on my pants so little boys could come up to it and just.
Wow.
By used to, he means yesterday. Like,
Oh.
technically past tense.
When I went to go pick my kids up from school.
See,
no.
Now people just
Ew.
point and laugh at him. So.
Wait, at his
What?
crotch or at the game? I'm sorry, I'm lost.
What is that?
Are you laughing at the size of my Micro?
Yes, and also your Game Boy.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Sick burn.
I have my moments.
Burn.
Don't worry, I'll probably say something really stupid here in like the next 5 minutes.
So does anybody have anything disparaging to say about the Game Boy Color?
I've learned more about it today than I knew about it before.
Well, there we go. So
I thought of all the Game
moving
Boys,
on.
that was probably the most comfortable to hold, just because it was smaller, but still big enough that it wasn't cramping your fingers.
Yeah.
That's about all I remember about it.
I mean, I always thought it was the same thing, just with like with a crappy color screen.
No.
It was a slightly less crappy color screen.
Yeah.
Well, it had more color. It still didn't look great. I just remember that.
It was no longer green on green or white on black. It was color.
Color.
White on black, nice interracial. Nice. See, told you, 5 minutes.
Wasn't even.
I give myself a 5-minute grace period. That's what I do.
Next.
Is this a color thing? August 6, 1999, Neo Geo Pocket Color by SNK is released on the marketplace for $69, undercutting the Game Boy Color.
I guess color was a big thing, huh?
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of color issues then.
Is that a stick?
It was a 16-bit and the last system that SNK ever produced. It was backwards compatible with the Neo Geo Pocket. Pocket.
Had a joystick.
Yeah,
Wow.
had a joystick, which I don't know if it's the first one to ever have a joystick on it, but
I think that's the first one we've seen.
it's the first one I've seen.
And that puts it ahead of everybody. No one else put a joystick on their stuff until not just a few years ago, isn't it? Wasn't the
PS? Well, if you count the PSP as a little
The
shitty
Vita
thing.
had
yeah.
that. The
PSP has the nub.
PSP is the nub. I wouldn't. Those things were terrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that an analog or a joystick.
I was gonna say the what they've done with the Vita is gorgeous, but we're not talking about the Vita today. The screen on the Neo Geo Pocket Color, however, was not backlit, so games would only could only be seen in well lit areas.
I remember seeing this ad somewhere.
And then the Neo Geo Pocket Color also required 2 sets of batteries, 2 AA batteries for the system itself, and an optional CR2032 battery to retain memory backup and keep the clock active on the system.
I was going to say probably one set to turn it on, another one to keep playing.
No. It also had the ability to link systems together and it came with a link cable.
So did the Game Boy.
Same as the Game Boy Color and Game Boy.
You know, again,
made popular by that Pokemon game.
Again, this looks like something you'd find in a blister pack. But
Yeah.
you know, looking at it, you could say the same thing about the Game Boy now.
I know, but it looks so chintzy.
It does.
And unfortunately, the only thing I know about SNK is the fact that they make those terrible fighting games that people like. Those King of Fighters or SNK versus some
Capcom.
Whatever. Regardless, that's all that they've. Good to see after all the things they did with the Neo Geo. The only thing I remember them for now is really terrible fighting games.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the Neo Geo Pocket. The Wonder Swan, which number one, awesome name. Because nothing screams I'm a teenage boy and I want to play a handheld system like Wonder Swan.
Yeah, but you're not saying it in Japanese.
The Wonder Swan
You're
color by Bandai.
Wow.
Yes, that's how the Japanese speak. They just say
happy.
English words with horribly racist accents. Like,
well, at least
shitty walk.
there's a shitty walk.
Welcome a shitty walk home a shitty ball.
The Wonder Swan color was released for $59. Now, the interesting thing about the Wonder Swan is it was created by a gentleman who we've already talked about multiple times. It was created by the Kodo company, which is a Gunpei company, and he designed the Game & Watch and designed the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, it looks like he lost his mind with these designs.
I know.
Slowly but surely. What the? Oh my god, that is like
The weird thing
how are you
about the
supposed to
system
hold
was- The weird thing about the system is that it had a really heavy third-party support from Square and Capcom. So it got a lot of support.
It was this. It was actually the Wonder Swan that made me get rid of my Game Boy Advance.
Really?
It was all that it was when they had that when they announced all the Square Enix support. I was like, oh shoot.
Well, that's interesting considering the fact that it only came out in Japan and it was never released in the United States.
Yeah, but they were backing it. I was worried that I would never see Chrono Trigger or Secret of Mana on a Nintendo system, and I was like, and I was kind of because we'll talk about this in a second, but when I think we will, but when I got my Game Boy Advance, one of the things I was, they were re-releasing a bunch of Super Nintendo games on it, and I was really hoping that Square would jump on that bandwagon with like Secret of Mana and Chrono Trigger re-releases. And when they announced that they were, supporting, throwing all their weight behind the WonderSwan, I was like, wow, now I'm never going to see it. Now I don't need this system anymore. So, but yeah, that was like, and I know it never released here, and I probably never would have played. This just looks ridiculous.
The WonderSwan, you know what it looks like, and this is gonna really sound completely insensitive, but I've already crossed that line tonight.
Picasso's drawing of a goddamn Game Boy.
No, it looks like the retarded cousin of an Etch-a-Sketch.
I got an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah.
Etch-a-Sketch.
I guess I just don't understand how you hold it.
It's
like there's buttons everywhere.
It's like if the Etch-a-Sketch banged the Fry Girl at McDonald's, it would look like this.
Oh, hold up. You can't throw all McDonald's Fry Girls in the same bag.
Why?
Really?
They don't get thrown in a bag. The fries get thrown in a carton.
Anyways.
There's more to this story. More on it later, kids. I'm guessing who comes to the defense of McDonald's Fry Girls.
It's a Hollywood Babylon reference. Anyways, so that's the Wonder Swan.
Joe would probably have more to say about it.
The majestic Wonder Swan.
I don't know. Even if it came here, I don't even know if I'd buy it. I don't think I could actually go up to somebody and say, "Hey, I have a Wonder Swan."
But it can be played vertically and horizontally.
People would call the cops and call you a perv.
And it has a very large game library.
All right,
it's advanced large.
Okay, so the buttons are X1, X2, X3, X4, Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, A, B, start, and sound.
How is the...
Get ready for the QuickTime event.
Is there a sound? There's a sound button?
I'm guessing it's like a mute button? So there's only one volume for the whole...
What? No,
or maybe it's one of those
button.
ones like you press it once,
so
it's like 1,
sound.
2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It says volume button of the Wonder Swan. Like,
so on.
So to turn it down, it has to blow your ears out first.
Yep, sounds about right to me.
Okay, moving on.
Oh. On June 11th, 2001, the Game Boy Advance by Nintendo was released for $149.99.
I was first in line at my local Best Buy for it.
I don't even think I owned a Game Boy Advance until me and Janelle went on a car trip with my parents to Colorado, and I'm like, I fucking need to do something in the car. I'm like, I need something because my parents are going to drive me absolutely insane. And so I went out and bought me and Janelle both Game Boy Advances.
I think this was the last time I ever bought a white electronic.
Racist bastard.
Well, no, that's wrong. I bought an iPod.
We got a grape colored one. I remember that much. And then the one that's pictured there, I don't even know what technically color that is. It's like that transparent light blue color. Frosty.
I like the Game Boy Advance. I liked Advance Wars. That was my first chance playing one of those games. And I had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, which was actually a lot of fun. And that's one of the first games that I was actually really interested in the system because they were using like a better version of Star Fox. They were still pushing polygons, but they looked like really retarded sprites.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun with the system. But like I said, as soon as I saw that EGM, I was working at Babbage's, and as soon as I saw that article, in EGM or whatever it was that was there, I was like, okay, that's it, I'm done, and I traded it all in. Um, and I didn't get another one until the SP. So
The when I got mine, the first game I bought for the Game Boy Advance was Golden Sun, and I played the crap out of that game. That game was a lot of fun.
played you some Golden Sun.
Yeah. I think that was the only thing I really ever played on the Advance was RPGs. That was literally like my RPG system. Because I know I bought the Final Fantasy re-releases on there. Secret of Mana. God, what else?
It was Legend of Mana. No, Sword of Mana. Sword of Mana.
Sword of Mana. That's what it was.
Sorry. Yeah, I have that. I actually enjoyed that too because they went back to more traditional Secret of Mana style gameplay. And I actually what made me buy it was Metroid Fusion that actually
Metroid Fusion was awesome.
Yeah, I think that's the one that made me say I need an SP.
And Legend of Zelda Minish Cap was badass on that system.
Yeah, from Konami.
Yeah. Well, it's because every Zelda that got released on the Game Boy Advance was it was a Link to the Past it was like new maps Link to the Past because it was the same art style, everything, and Link to the Past was my favorite Zelda game, so it was awesome when they would put Zelda games on the Game Boy Advance because every single one of them felt exactly the same as Link to the Past.
I also liked Zero Mission, the Metroid remake.
Zero Mission was good too.
So
I remember sitting in college before film class was about to start, just sitting there playing Metroid Fusion the entire time.
What's interesting about this though, and I was thinking about this when I was playing when I was contemplating the Vita and holding it in my hands and whatnot. Like I don't know if it's because the Advance was bigger or I'm not. Or maybe it's just because I was I don't know
Smaller.
I was like 21, 22 when it came out. Like
You're still a developing young boy.
Yeah. Thanks, asshat. No,
You're welcome.
I feel like the Game Boy Advance. And I could be completely wrong. Maybe I can revisit this hypothesis.
It's an awful lot of build up. Spit it out.
I'm just saying, like, I remember the Game Boy Advance being more
killing me.
I remember the Game Boy Advance being more comfortable to hold than the Vita. I've been contemplating this since I picked up the Vita.
I'm going home. Done.
I'm not knocking. Okay.
I'm joking.
But I think what it is back then stuff didn't have to look pretty. Like they made it more feel in your hands. But like the Vita, there has to be some aesthetic pleasure to it. It can't be bumpy and stuff.
I don't think it's that. I think honestly, I can't. I think it's because, and I've only spent a week with it. I have nothing bad to say about the system yet. I'm just I'm still playing with it. And like I told Danner, if the PlayStation 4 handles like even half as well as the Vita does, then it's already better than the PlayStation 3. So but I'm saying like I can't. I'm always like, I'm always trying to figure out constantly while I'm playing a game, no matter what game it is or what it is, if it's Uncharted or Stardust or anything on there. I'm like, where do I put my fingers? Because there's the back touch, and I know not all games use the back touch, but I'm constantly like, I don't want to touch it because I don't want to do something. Yeah, I don't want to do something.
All I can think about is this entire conversation. If you take the words Vita out and just put penis,
I know, right?
Hilarious.
I've been thinking. I've been holding back all the giggities like that are building up.
But I'm just like, I'm constantly sitting there like, how do I hold the damn thing? Because I just can't. I don't. All right, moving on. You know what? I just remember with the Game Boy Advance being able to grip it real good, and the Vita, I don't know what to do because I'm afraid it'll just go off on me, make a mess everywhere.
You just
it was better when you weren't trying.
You need to choke up on it a little bit and just Don't be afraid to touch it.
Okay. All right.
It's not going to bite you. Okay.
Might spit, but it's not going to bite you. I don't. The advance. The thing I do remember about like the advance is how it felt. It did feel a little more substantial than some of the other systems, and didn't feel terrible. I just remember like I know when I got my SP, how I hated how close everything was. Because I did like the layout of the Advance. It felt good to hold and to play, but like the SP just felt, for as much functionality as you traded it for, like you got so much by upgrading to an SP, but it just felt so dinky.
I think the SP and the DS have I bring up those two because it's not about the two screens. I think they've spoiled me for the screen in the object over like a clamshell thing. So,
and I don't want to go too far into the DS because I have a lot of things to say in regards to that, but I'm going to hold it until 2 weeks.
But like the SP, like okay, we can just talk about the SP this way. With the SP, I would use that. I would like that when the screen was flipped up. That's how you're playing it, right? Well, that would like my finger, like that back part would rest on my fingers. Like it did feel cramped, but the whole system was being like, it was like cradled there. And like the Game Boy Advance, I like that because it felt in my hands, it felt the same way as a Super Nintendo controller felt.
Yeah,
but you kind of fit right in. You didn't have to adjust your hands.
Yeah,
it's just there.
And the SP felt more like a classic Game Boy, but because of the way the system was, it was like I was cradling it, and my hands were able to sit at more of a natural angle for to play and see the screen at the same time. And the DS is that same way. When I'm playing it, I'm cradling it because the screen is resting on my fingers, which are pressed against the shoulder buttons. But we can talk about more about this, like the ergonomics of stuff, later on. But it's just it's one of the things I've been trying to wrap my head around with the Vita, is just because I haven't gotten immersed in anything because I'm so focused on how I'm holding the damn thing. So
then you're playing it wrong.
I agree.
You're
totally
thinking
agree
more
with
about
you.
your hands around the system than the game in your hands.
I totally agree with you that assessment. But I did go out and buy a nifty little accessory for it that actually turns it into more of a game style controller.
I really do want to, like, when we see each other next, I want to try that out because that actually looks like.
Is that the one that basically like handles?
Issue with it, but what you bought, I was like, huh, that could actually be kind of interesting.
It's $15 at Best Buy. You can actually go and pick the thing up. Like in the store, it looks like a chintzy little accessory because it doesn't even come in a box. They just wrap a piece of cardboard around it with like the name on it and stick it on the shelf.
Well, that's how I buy everything.
But it's made by PDP, who makes a lot of video game accessories.
Ugh.
And it fits really snugly on the device, and it adds grips, like sort of like palm rests, I guess. And it makes the shoulder buttons into triggers, so it puts them at more of a, instead of it being up on top, they're at more of a comfortable angle. And it feels really good. It adds this rubber texture. It's got that that rubber texture,
non-slip.
Yeah, but it's still soft, and it's nice. It makes it a lot nicer to hold. So I've been, but the whole back touch is there, and I'm like, I don't want to throw a grenade. And so, but we'll talk about that more later. I'm just trying to throw,
because you've never thrown a grenade accidentally in a game before.
But I've never done it by touching something. Like I've pressed
like a button.
I've pressed a button.
There's no touching.
I've pressed.
It's okay.
A button.
Every time I touch it, I throw a grenade too. Wait, we're talking about systems still?
Yeah, I was gonna say like totally penises. Like,
all right, Danner, you want to side talk your way into the last one?
Yes. October 7th, 2003, Nokia decides to release N-Gage for $299.99.
Reasonably priced.
Reasonably priced in this. Reasonably priced in the cell phone market, not in the current handheld market. Nokia
hybrid of both, master of none.
Yeah, Nokia was under the impression, since all gamers were currently carrying cell phones and like a Game Boy Advance, they're like, why don't we combine the two? what resulted was a gaming cell phone that was both unusable for both functions. It was a piss poor cell phone and a piss poor gaming system. And who
Happens to have more buttons than the Wonder Swan.
yes, and
Oh
was
my
also
God.
nice enough to introducing us to the term side talking. Um,
This is all
I
you, man.
I owned an N-Gage, and let me back that up by I was a store manager at GameStop, and we had leftover N-Gage stock, and they decided that they were getting rid of it and wanted it all out of the store and thrown away. So,
So throw these in the garbage.
So instead of throwing it away, I took one of the systems and then took 20 games to also go along with the system. And I played 2 of them, and I go, oh my god, this is really fucking bad. And then I gave them all to Joe.
Now,
I traded Joe an N-Gage and the all 20 games for a 120 gig hard drive for the Xbox 360.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. You got it for free, and you still didn't get your money's worth, huh?
Yes.
So, all right. Legitimate question here. Was it a bad handheld because it tried to be a phone, or was it a bad handheld because it was
a
just
bad
shit?
handheld? Okay. Is it bad handheld because every single game that came with it was a cell phone game that you could have downloaded on any other phone with basically the exact same quality at that point in time in the cell phone gaming market.
Hey, man, do not knock Lemonade Tycoon.
Every single one of the games on that system looks like
X-Men Legends? X-Men Legends 2?
yeah, but
Wait, that did well enough to get a sequel to a game?
X-Men Legends?
X-Men Legends and X-Men Legends 2 are both incredibly good.
Yeah.
No, I mean on the N-Gage.
Oh, well, they probably released them both at the same time.
You know what? Let's take a look at who published most of these games. It's Activision and EA.
They'll put them on anything they could possibly get them on.
Call of Duty.
But like the games were like Red Faction was one of the games that I played and had for the system, and it looks exactly like it looks like every single game on the system, in my opinion, looks pretty much like what Minecraft looks like, but squished.
Someone just unzipped their pants. What was that noise? Like,
I moved. It was my belt.
Okay, sure it was.
But it's like super pixelated.
Okay.
And just really, really poor quality. What's the name of the game? There was a game that came out with that system that I remember them pimping like something terrible. It was like Ryzen or something like that.
It was that war game, wasn't it? Wasn't it? I just saw it on this list.
Path to Glory?
No. Where did it go? Oh my gosh.
Well, this is all getting cut out.
Maybe it'll get cut out if I'm not lazy.
Forget about it. We got to rely on you actually not being lazy.
Yeah, I know. Or playing SimCity.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
it's going to go up as is.
I swear.
Every single racist comment.
Well, all of your shit's getting left in, so
that's fine. I don't care what people think of me.
Wow.
Clearly, I mean, look at his face.
You're a piece of shit, you know that.
I'm aware. You tell me constantly.
I know. I don't want you to get too big of an ego. I want to keep you down.
I thought it was that war game.
It's Pathway to Glory?
Wait, Tom was Splinter Cell Chaos Theory? What?
Never mind. I swear I saw the game. It's like, whatever. Anyways. That's so weird. That was Nokia's...
Within 17 days of its release, popular retailers like GameStop and Electronics Boutique began offering $100 rebates on the deck's price. poor sales performance,
17 days,
the poor selection of games compared to its competitors and cost of launch. I don't really think it was selection of games. I think it's how fucking terrible everything looked on that damn thing.
That screen doesn't look very pleasant.
No, it's not. It's dinky too. It's literally the exact same size as a regular cell phone, but you have this giant awkward...
They probably took a cell phone screen and
you have this giant plastic taco that you're trying to play on. And then imagine trying to side talk into the taco.
Oh.
And
to be fair,
the thing that's interesting about the N-Gage is the fact that it kind of, for as failed as it was kind of the starting of the stepping stones for cell phone gaming. It was just, it
had the idea
exactly what not to do.
Oh,
because it also had a lot of social aspects, which you didn't really see in even console gaming at that point in time, which was the fact that you could hook up with people, make a phone call at a contacts list, and if your other friend had an N-Gage, which was highly unlikely, you could send friend requests and then play online on that multiplayer war game that Mike can't seem to figure out because it's called Pathway to Glory, which I've said 3 times, but he ignores me. So
for some reason, I thought there was one called Brothers in Arms or something like that. But whatever.
Brothers in Arms? You mean the Gearbox war game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't ignoring you. I was just for some reason I thought it was the Brother in Arms. I thought it was like
he thought he knew better than you. That's what it was.
No.
I'm pretty sure it was Pathway to Glory, and then they had a sequel to Pathway to Glory, the Akusa Islands.
Oh yeah.
So I also played the Super Monkey Ball on that system, and Super Monkey Ball is fun no matter where you play it on, no matter what system you play it on, except for on the N-Gage.
Way to go, N-Gage. Way to stand out.
Way to even make Monkey Ball suck, which I didn't think was possible. So there's not a single fucking positive thing I can say about this system. It was literally it is literally probably the lowest of lows when it comes to handheld systems, and it was just such a great example of what not to do for, smartphone devices, because, man, this thing sucked. Like, it didn't just suck a little, it really sucked.
To be honest, I still don't think that cell phone gaming is all that great.
I don't think cell phone gaming is all that great either, and I can't get into it, but I think so for the person who's a gamer, I don't think cell phone gamings are ever going to truly quench that gaming need.
Yeah.
It's something you play for like 5 or 10 minutes once or twice a week just to kill time when you're, waiting at the DMV or something.
I don't know about that. I see what you're saying, but what I'm saying is I don't think cell phone gaming, especially with the way cell phones are going, I don't see on-screen buttons replacing physical buttons. I don't know if you've played a game on your phone where it's a traditional game and they put like a virtual D-pad on the screen and virtual buttons.
Fix it, Felix.
Yeah, I can't play those games. I need to actually feel the button.
And that's kind of my thing too, as I don't like the virtual feelings as we're looking at the PS4 with its touchpad in the center. So, I agree that I like having control. I think that's why, for me, the Wii wasn't as much fun because I don't really want to use my body. That's why the Kinect kind of fell flat with me also. I'd much rather have a stricter sense of control over what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that is part 2 of the handheld gaming expose.
The Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages. Next in part 3 we will be talking about the PSP versus the Nintendo DS.
Wait, we're pitting them against each other?
It's pretty much the only two that are left before the big knockdown drag out. 3DS Vita versus cell phone gaming.
Yeah. All right.
I was going to say there might be some other handheld game systems in there, and I'll look into it, but I can guarantee they're not going to be something we're going to spend a whole lot of time on.
Right. All right. Well,
they're going to be those other ones are about as useless as an N-Gage.
This is true. Well, for Off the Cuff, Portable Gaming Part 2, I've been your host, as always, Michael Powers. You can find me on Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, Twitter, and also Origin and Steam. I'll just throw those out there too for the hell of it. At Booth,
he just wants more SimCity friends.
I just want more. I just want more stuff for people to not contact me through.
Yay!
At Booth Ninja 81. Danner.
You can find me on Twitter at ArtDanner. You can also find me on Xbox Live at Weapon12. You can also find me on PSN at X51 the Machine Man. And also remember on Twitter to look up Benny Doom, who provides our music for us.
Chauncey?
Oh, yeah, I've been Chauncey. You can find me on Xbox at Weapon87, which is better than Weapon 12, just in case you're wondering.
I'm I can't live up to your. That's why I don't even play 360 anymore. I can't even try it on that system.
Yeah. Anyways, you can find me on Twitter at Chauncey Brown, and that's it looks like you're gonna be able to find me on PlayStation Network come next console generation, but
yes.
Well, I can't play those games with you guys. Jesus.
I don't know. We can talk about it more as it gets closer. I'm still having trouble seeing what Microsoft's going to bring to the table. So, all right. So until next week, when we get into current gaming news, I've been your host. Have a good time. I got nothing.
Did you match to the beginning out a second time?
I did.
I've been your host.
You know why?
Because I've been your host again. I'm still your host.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because I want to go play SimCity. So, goodbye.
Really nice.
You've just listened to Off the Cuff on the Geekcast Radio Network. There are several ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. First, visit geekcastradio.com where you can comment on all their different podcasts. Second, you can rate our show and leave us feedback on iTunes. Third, follow us on Twitter at Geekcast Radio. Fourth, become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/geekcastradio. Lastly, you can call the voicemail line at 502-526-5821. Please remember to leave the name of the show that you are calling about and your name as well. Until next time, unleash the geek in you.
This week on XRG, we try to get through it as fast as we can so we can go back to playing video games.
Yay!
And actually, I just fucked that up. This week on Off the Cuff.
Oh, yeah.
We try to get through video games as... Shit.
Okay, you just want to start again.
This week on Off the Cuff, we try to get through this podcast as fast as we can so we can go back to someone else.
You want me to do it?
Sure.
Okay.
Not much. How you doing?
I'm okay. Busted my ass a little while ago.
How was your fall?
Oh my god!
You fell?
Holy shit! Okay, so I'm jogging through the woods, right? And it's like it dips down, like the path dips down and then it goes up. So I sprinted up. As soon as I hit the top, my right leg slid, took my left leg out. I flew for about 5 feet and landed right on my hip. Just fucking laid myself out. Oh,
nice.
Yeah, it sucked. But from what I was told, it looked really funny.
Because falling always looks funny.
Oh my god.
Especially when it's Chauncey.
Yeah.
Dude, I fell and it hurt for a bit, and so I got up and I finished the trail. came home, and then I sat down, then I went to stand up, my whole right leg is just messed up. Sweet.
I'm sure you'll live.
I'm gonna have a gangster walk at your wedding. What?
We'll get you a cane. It'll be awesome.
Okay, don't joke about that if it's not gonna happen. Okay, I'm just.
What are
I mean,
you?
I can always get you a stick and just say it's a cane.
What are you watching, Danner?
Wrestling?
Instead of playing Tomb Raider.
Well,
Did you try it out yet?
trust me, I was about 3 minutes away. If nobody showed up, I was just gonna say fuck it and just start playing Tomb Raider again. So,
How is it, by the way?
Nope. Wait.
It's good.
Oh, okay, yeah. Don't go into it.
All right.
Excuse me.
Could he cough a couple more times?
Oh, thank you so much.
I didn't quite hear you.
No,
what was
don't.
that?
Do not do it again. I will hang up on you.
Oh, that's not nice.
That's one way to get to go play Tomb Raider some more.
Yeah. My coughs are more manly than that.
Hey, Pops, I got a case of the black lung.
Okay. Oh man.
Way to not be able to hold your piss for 5 minutes.
I'm sorry. I had to go.
That's what bottles are for.
Is
I
anybody?
drank way too much water tonight.
We can talk about this next week again when we talk about current events. But is anybody else excited about Assassin's Creed 4?
I'm super excited.
So am I.
Remember how I said about the pirates? How 3 made me feel like a pirate, and I was doing the water missions. And any game that can make me feel like a pirate is awesome. And now the next, I think they listen to our podcast, because now they're making a pirate one.
The rumor is that they were developing 4 and they were enjoying the boat stuff so much that they
put that into 3.
They threw it into 3 to see if how well it went over as a test for 4. And due to the fact that most people said that the boat thing was the best part of the game, they were like, "Okay, we're good with 4."
The one question I have is, shit, it went out the window. But we've all seen the trailer, right?
Which one?
The trailer,
the one with Blackbeard one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they have the other one that's just like showcasing what's his face. That's nothing. It talks about the Edward what's his face, the main character.
Okay.
Connor's grandfather.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like watching that video. Like, okay, you watch the video for Watch Dogs, and you see that, and then you watch the trailer for Assassin's Creed 4, and granted, we all know that internet video is not the same thing as seeing it on your TV, like off the console, and I'm kind of worried at this point because I'm going to say, I'll just come out and say, I don't think that there was gameplay in that trailer. But
What trailer?
In the Assassin's Creed 4 trailer.
I didn't, for 1 second, even think that was gameplay.
There were a couple of times where I did think it was gameplay because...
Every single bit of that was a video to me.
There were certain scenes in there that looked like they came out of the Watch Dogs gameplay demo. Like the way the textures look, the way the characters look. It got me to the point of thinking of the point like it's gonna be weird when it gets to that point where you can't tell what's gameplay and what's not. Now I mean, do I think it's gonna look as crazy as that? No, but again, the infamous footage was all in-game footage. They just used a dramatic camera, so. I mean, that was all gameplay in the Second Son trailer. But it looked like a cutscene. So I'm just kind of getting a little geeked about the new stuff is really what I'm getting at. So, and it was Assassin's Creed 4 that pushed Allie into the PlayStation 4. So, because she likes those games. And she was like, I said, you can get it on October 30th. She goes, no, I don't want to play it. I want to play it on the new stuff. So
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm so I don't know what to do. Like, I mean, I'm waiting for the release dates of the next gen, obviously, but it's like, oh, do I want to try waiting on long and risk certain things being spoiled for me? And
I don't know.
did you see the thing about PETA though, or PETA, or whatever the
Oh,
hell?
about the whales.
The whaling that made me laugh. Leave those whales alone. They're fucking polygons. Did you
Yeah.
watch the first game? I shanked like 700 elk. Like, like
There was a funny tweet about how someone said that they agreed with what PETA was saying about attacking giant bloated creatures, and then he was like, "Enough about Assassin's Creed, though." I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, I'm excited. At that game, as soon as I saw that trailer, it just looked like something that the characters just seemed more like something I wanted to play, and um, I threw that on my launch list as well. So, all right, Danner, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
You sound so thrilled.
Super thrilled.
tired.
I just don't suspect this is going to take very long since Joe's not here. So.
Yeah, right. It's good. No, I mean, who's gonna provide the ming noise for the consoles, the handhelds turning on?
For as awesomely terrible as that sounded last time.
The pause was so better. Like, anyways,
This is going to be a bloodbath because I am unfamiliar with most of these.
I think it's going to be very Game Boy Advance heavy. So
yes. Okay.